As a former sports reporter and current sports mental health podcast host, you've had a lot of experience with the sports world. Whether it be professional, collegiate, club, or your local rec team, we know sports can be an outlet of camaraderie among men. How can men on sports teams support each other's wellness and approach the conversation of mental health?
The stigma inside locker rooms or on courts or on fields have completely changed in the last 10 years, but really the last 5, where, I remember when I first started reporting the NFL, I never heard of mental health. I didn't know if teams had a mental health coach or a team psychiatrist. Now I know every NFL team has one or multiple. Same with college teams. It's something that is very, very important all the way down to the youth and high school level. It has completely changed, where I grew up in the era of rub dirt on it, don't be weak, play hurt, and just be a man. And that's just not how you can do it anymore. It's not, you have to be able to talk about how you're feeling. And I've noticed this too with teams. It's like the more vulnerable you are with each other and the closer you build that brotherhood, that sisterhood, that team, mentality off the field or off the court, the better you're going to do selfishly on the court and win more games or matches or tournaments or titles. So I've seen it completely change, where people being vulnerable, one, it helps them on the court and then become closer as teams. But personally, you have a coach, you have a teammate. It's very similar to mental health when you go to therapy or you're in a group session and you have your, teammates there, or your therapist can be your coach. It's completely changed, and it's really encouraging, especially on the men's side of things, because women do a great job talking about how they're feeling and opening up, as we know, but men have struggled with it for so long. And it's been really encouraging for me to see how many men in sports have started talking about mental health.
Meeting men where they are at can be one of the best ways to get them engaged with their mental well-being. Where do you see sports breaking down mental health stigmas and getting men to focus on their mental health?
The way it's talked about on social media, in the locker room, that's how it's going to help, men break that stigma. Before, you were taught to be hush hush. You weren't supposed to talk about anything that was going wrong in your life. Even if people saw that, you might be sad or struggling, they didn't ask because you were weak. If you were struggling with your mental health, or you were depressed, or you were crazy, if you went through something like that, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. But now that conversation's embraced, and I've noticed it, whether it's an athlete or a fan, we all have these same stories that we can share, that we've gone through the same stuff. And the more that we talk, the more that we tell our stories, the more that we can help each other. And I think that's certainly the case in sports. It's been really cool to watch how much it's grown. And for me personally, when I went through my stuff, and I obviously wasn't an athlete, but I was somebody that was in those locker rooms, and I had NFL players and coaches checking in on me. And I think if I went through the stuff I went through 5 years ago with my mental health, I don't think anyone would have been reaching out. Not because they didn't care and love me. It's because we didn't talk about it when we weren't supposed to. So it is really inspiring to see how social media has a lot of tough things on it, but it also has a lot of inspiring things when it comes to mental health. And the more people speak out and men talk about their feelings, again, I think it inspires more people to open up.
Man therapy helps get the conversation going about mental health and can be a great starting point for men. Where do you see man therapy's resources meeting the sports community?
It's a perfect match, man therapy and sports, because look, a lot of us guys love sports, and most of us don't love going to therapy or talking about our mental health. So being able to, team up with man therapy, it makes a huge difference, because the 18-point head inspection, I took the test myself. It's really quick. It's not super invasive into your thoughts and feelings. And it helps you kind of just look at your mental health from a third-party, unbiased point of view, and gives you direct resources on how to help you. Some men, because of the stigma, don't want to go to therapy or don't want to talk to their wife or family or friends about how they're feeling. But if they can sit on their phone and take a test in 2 minutes with 18 questions, and it give them, a starting point on how to better take care of their mental health and give them resources in their area, or how to ask, to go to therapy through your doctor, it's a complete game changer to me, because I was that guy at one point that didn't believe in therapy or mental health. And then I hit rock bottom and was suicidal and depressed. And, I finally got to a point where I had to ask for help. And I think if I had something like Man Therapy that just kind of came across, my timeline on social media or popped up on my phone and I took that test, it would change my perspective of the way I thought about my mental health. And so I really love the opportunity that it gives to men to just, I want them to dive in all the way to therapy and try different things to help them with their mental health. But if they got that wall up, Man Therapy is just such a quick, easy way to show them that like it's okay to ask for help and there's all these options. And for me, that's what's most powerful about it.